What's going on, friends and family? Another top 10. Finally, about time, right? Well, we're going to be talking about the top 10 hero shooters of 2017. Now, I haven't actually done a top 10 like this in quite a little bit, but hey, now that we've ramped up the hero shooter production, absolutely, with Overwatch spearheading the genre, I think it's about time we talk about some games that maybe you don't know exist. I mean, obviously, we do know the heavy hitters, and we're going to talk about those too, but I think there's some games that we should just kind of look at in a new light here, or maybe at all, and I want to just kind of share that for you guys. So, let's go ahead and talk about the coolest games that involve heroes that, you can shoot people with and stuff. Yeah, anyways, it really is self-explanatory, so let's jump into the list. So the first game that I want to mention here as a stepping stone for the rest of the top 10 list is a game called Team Fortress 2. Now, really this should be higher on the list if I were to rate it just purely on quality of the overall game, with its man versus machine co-op mode, and then you have all the custom games, you have all the weirdness with all the add-ons and weird server rules that you can do, and then you also have the competitive mode or just the quick play matchmaking, which is what I played the most, and that's really cool too. But Team Fortress 2 as a hero shooter has been very inspirational to the hero shooter genre proper, but Team Fortress 2, in my opinion, is not quite a hero shooter. It's really more of a class-based game, and that's kind of different from what heroes really are. Heroes are more set in their kits, and they're more a little bit defined. Where Team Fortress 2, you can have a demo man, which is a grenadier, and then all of a sudden he can be a melee character, so the loadouts are a little bit too powerful in Team Fortress 2 and more reminiscent of something like older Battlefields or Call of Duties. So Team Fortress 2, absolutely, you can see it's kind of a midway point, kind of a branching, like I said, a stepping stone for this top 10, as well as a huge inspiration for many hero shooters that have come out and will come out. But in my opinion, in terms of heroes, I think there's some more games that are a little bit more heroic. Next up on the list, we have a game called Block and Load. I adore this game. I love this game, but I have to self-admit here that Block and Load is not popular at all. Yet it is one of my most prized memories of playing this beta and playing the launch of this game with all my good friends. It was just such fun. Basically, guys, take something like Team Fortress 2 and then mix it with Minecraft, and there you go. You have 5 minutes to build up your base, and the enemy does the same, and then all of a sudden the shield goes down, and then you just lay siege to each other's bases. It is a tremendous amount of fun. They added in custom maps. They have so many new heroes that you can utilize, and these heroes, unlike any other hero shooter, actually you can choose unique blocks to use with them since it is a building game. So in a lot of ways, this is a super fun hero shooter that just kind of has some different mechanics other than just, flat out ultimates and stuff like that. I really wish more people would check out this game, especially since it's free to play now. And all in all, seriously guys, I really can't vouch for it more. Please, it's got a lot of charm, it's got a lot of character, and in terms of hero shooters, or just in terms of shooters period, a lot of guys don't know about this. So please, ladies and gentlemen, check out Block and Load. And now, next up, we have Battleborn, another game that has a very low population, yet it does have a hardcore niche following that does circulate through its games every day, so you can still find some matches, especially since it did go free to play. But again, this is something that a lot of people would consider a failed game. However, there is some specialness, there is some uniquities to the game. It is really actually more of like a first-person MOBA, which is very special, but it has a lot of shooting mechanics. Now, there are some melee characters, but even in that, it is a very aim-based game, so absolutely, I'm going to consider it a hero shooter, even though many people would say, well, it's a first-person MOBA, kind of, sort of, a little bit. Yeah, I understand that. Battleborn does suffer from a little bit of visual noise, okay, a lot of bit of visual noise, and it definitely has some issues, but that doesn't mean it should completely stop you from at least trying the game. Now, if you buy the game, you can actually get its co-op campaign, which has a little bit of humor. Maybe it's hit or miss. The whole game really might be hit or miss for a lot of people, but a lot of money went into the production of this game, and there are some uniquities that you guys should check out. Like I said, it's a first-person MOBA. What? Try it out, guys. At least it's worth the attempt. Moving on through the list, we have one of my favorite games of all time, Gigantic. Guys, this game, I've been gushing over this game, and I've been putting it in top 10s for the longest time. Now, this is somewhere in between, like, I guess where Battleborn is a hero shooter MOBA. Gigantic is really more leaning on hero shooter, but it still has some MOBA elements, such as upgrading abilities, and you can kind of have different build paths and stuff like that. There are these creature tower things that you can spawn, and it kind of does have phases like a MOBA proper would. But Gigantic plays plays uniquely to like any game in any genre ever. It's got elements of MMO battlegrounds. It has elements of course, MOBAs and then shooters, and it's a third-person shooter. And you can even play it cross-platform with Xbox and Windows 10, or you can just play on the Arc/Steam version if you want to. And Gigantic, in my opinion, has some of the most interesting animations ever, like really good character design. And it is kind of colorful. It's not as visually noisy as Battleborn, but all in all, there's a lot going on with this game, and it plays really freaking different. It's actually kind of team deathmatchy in ways. The objective is based on kills, so it's really freaking weird compared to all these other objective-based games. So yeah, jumping into it, look at some tutorials, maybe look at my videos for it, and when you jump in, just know you might be overwhelmed, but holy shit, there is so much to this game. Next on our list, we have a game called Dirty Bomb. Now, this title was previously published by Nexon, and in my opinion, they did a horrendous job, and actually developers of Dirty Bomb thought the same, and that's why now they are self-publishing their game. Dirty Bomb was a game that I thought I would just, play to kind of practice for Overwatch and all these other hero shooters coming out, but Dirty Bomb actually, as a free-to-play game, it was pretty freaking heroic. Now, all these different characters do share a lot of similarities, and I kind of wish there was a little bit more uniquities between them, but all in all, I love the dual objective kind of based gameplay, where at one part you maybe have to blow up a certain building or a wall or whatever, and then you have to, run past that wall to get to the main objective of the map. Or I guess kind of similar to Overwatch, where you sometimes capture a point and then you move on and you push a payload. Stuff like that is really cool, and Dirty Bomb, I think, does it even better than Overwatch or a lot of other games with dual objectives. Not only that, but you have like this really kind of grounded, down-to-earth style gameplay that's not as ridiculous or as comic book as other games, but at the same time, you're still, jumping off walls, and you still have invisibilities, and you still have, ridiculous shit like that, hitting people with, bats. It's great fun. It's cool stuff. And I think if you like something kind of like CSGO-ish, but you want, heroes in it, you might want to be looking at Dirty Bomb. Alright guys, halfway on our list we have the newly released game, Lawbreakers. Now this is a game I've been waiting for the longest time. I've literally followed every step of its development, and it's kind of sad to say that its population isn't that great. It needs to be noted so that you guys should know if you should spend $30 on it or not, but its population isn't that great, but there is still something incredibly engrossing about Lawbreakers. In a lot of ways, it can be reminiscent of games like Tribes Ascend or Quake, where you're just flying all over the place and you have really unique physics mechanics, and that's literally the gimmick of Lawbreakers. Is you have all these heroes, all these weapons, and then they're set in this universe, in this game engine that completely revolves around, gravity and momentum mechanics. I mean, even just like hit scan weapons, you can shoot behind you in order to propel yourself through the anti-gravity fields, and just amazing things like that. So all these characters have a huge amount of depth, and whenever you're looking for hero shooters, you want depth in your heroes. You want to master heroes, you want to see what they can do and how they mix with the rest of the cast. And Lawbreakers, holy shit, dude, they throw a mix in the mix and things get ridiculous. Now, it's not for everybody. It can be nauseating. I understand that, and so that's why not many players are playing, probably. However, if you ever get the chance, if it ever goes on sale, if you really think that this looks cool on your screen right now, you should absolutely get into it right now. Now into the big bad four, we have Quake Champions. This is actually kind of like a little bit of a merger of genres, kind of like when I said earlier, Battleborn's kind of more of a MOBA. Well, Quake Champions is really more of an arena shooter. So you can be a hero shooter and then kind of mix up some genres. Absolutely, it's a subgenre. You can do that. So this is really more of a arena hero shooter. And what I mean by arena shooter is that you have to run around and you have to actually pick up weapons around the map. So every hero uses the same weapons. However, they do have unique passives and they do have unique abilities. So in some ways, it's not as heroic as other games, but at the same time, how those characters entwine with those weapons is unique. Certain characters like rocket jumping all over the place, and other characters, while they can rocket jump, you really don't want to because you're probably just going to give yourself. So even though everyone is running around trying to control the map and everyone is trying to kind of have a similar game loop and go to get similar weapons, the way they utilize those weapons and the way they actually move around the map is a little bit differently. Like Nyx can go invisible, she can jump off walls, and then you have Scalebearer who can literally charge through and kill people, and then he can actually rocket jump a lot all over the place. Some people can teleport, some people have entirely different physics and I guess the way they interact with the engine, like slide jumping and all sorts of weird bunny hopping mechanics. So yeah guys, a lot of people would say Quake is still Quake, but absolutely guys, those champions make an impact. The next game I want to talk about is Rainbow Six Siege, and a lot of people don't consider this a hero shooter. I personally would consider it a tactical hero shooter, just like a lot of other games on this list. It's kind of a merger of two subgenres, but Rainbow Six Siege, more than other hero shooters, does this really cool thing, where it is not just bombastic, comical, ridiculous ultimates all over the place. It's more down to earth, even more than Dirty Bomb, and it's way slower. And they took this really crazy and cartoon idea, and they actually made it fit and made it work in this tactical, slow-paced, very serious, very sincere genre, and I really respect it for that. And a lot of people also are learning and giving this game respect because it had a rough launch, and now they've been ironing it out, they've been making it more competitive, they've been adding in more heroes, and the game is bigger and better than ever, and more people are playing it. Fantastic stuff there. So if you're worried about this game just kind of being too ridiculous, don't worry about that. And if you're worried about the heroes not having as much impact, oh, trust me guys, in a tactical shooter, the biggest tactical decision that you can probably make is the hero that you select, the team compositions, the different gadgets that are utilized, actually going in this and laying different traps. That's the most important thing. Completely revolutionizing the way strategy and tactics works in a tactical shooter. And coming in at number 2, obviously, we have Paladins. Paladins is the most popular hero shooter aside from Team Fortress 2, if you consider that a proper hero shooter, and second to Overwatch, obviously. So Paladins here is a game I love criticizing, it's a game I love praising and promoting, and it's just really a game I love just talking about all the time. I put it in so many top 10s, and here it is, once again, obviously in a top 10, kind of almost made for it. It's completely free to play. There is a little bit of debate over how grindy the game is, so keep that in mind, guys. You do have to actually earn your different cards, but hey, that's a cool mechanic. Unlike a lot of hero shooters, you can completely customize your playstyle with loadouts, which give you kind of different passives. You can actually change around some abilities, buff some, you maybe go into a lifesteal build, and kind of stuff like that. It's almost MOBA-ish in ways, and at the same time, you do have itemization when you are in the matches, so you can get a little bit more armor, a little bit more lifesteal, cooldown reduction, stuff like that. And at the same time, it just creates so much chaos, and that's kind of been a problem for Paladins. It's so chaotic, its development has been so chaotic, and it really needs to kind of find its identity, but at the same time, players who are playing the game right now are just kind of having fun. It just kind of doesn't matter where the game goes. It's a free-to-play hero shooter that has the most ridiculous abilities, the most ridiculous characters, and just playing the game pure and simple is just, honestly, yeah, simple fun. But now, obviously, my friends, we have the #1 hero shooter, the one that is literally spearheading and might have identified the genre itself, and that is Overwatch. The world could always use more heroes. Now, when I first saw that trailer when Overwatch was first announced, I literally watched it 3 different times, and I cried each and every time. I was so in love with this concept, personally, that I knew I wanted to work with Overwatch websites, which I did. I wanted to beta test it. I wanted to play it nonstop, which I do. And I love Overwatch. And it really branched me out as a content creator in checking out all these other games. And I've already loved arena shooters, and I already love just FPS period. And I really like mechanically intensive games. And then when you throw in heroes, which have all sorts of different crazy mechanics, and you have this world where all these different things are going on, and it's just, you have Lucio jumping off of walls and then sound blasting people off. You have Pharah flying in the sky. And then you have Genji flippity flopping all over the place, throwing ninja stars. And you just have so many characters that play in so many different ways. It's really awesome. Even if you're playing a really grounded, down-to-earth character like McCree, it's so cool just to be in these matches and seeing all the shit going on and trying to shoot it out of the air. Also, one thing to praise is the consistent updates and the quality control of Overwatch. And maybe they don't add as many heroes as fast as some other games. Maybe they're not adding as much stuff overall, but when they pinpoint those updates, those skins and then those seasonal events, those seasonal game events, like right now we have the Lucio Ball event with even ranked with it, then you have the co-op like Halloween events, and I don't know, man, Overwatch itself, it's more than just a product, it's more than just a game you buy, it's kind of like this cultural phenomenon, it's like an event that, honestly, if you're not playing Overwatch, if you haven't tried it, 100% guaranteed, you're missing out. So friends and family, thanks for watching the top 10, and on that note, I just want to say that if you haven't tried any of these games, oh my god, please download one of the free-to-play ones, download any one of these games, actually just buy all of them. Check these games out because you are missing out. Every single one of these games on this list does something unique and will give you a unique physical game feel that you cannot get in any other game. I absolutely adore these games. This is my favorite genre. These are my favorite games in my favorite genre, and that's why I'm talking probably a little bit more emotively than I normally would. I really want you guys to try these games. I'm absolutely 100% promoting these games, giving them 2 thumbs up. and I know they're not for everybody, that's for damn sure, but at the same time, they deserve a second look maybe, if you pass them the first time. Thanks for watching, guys. My name is Skylent. I like doing game reviews. Thanks for sponsoring me on Patreon, the donations, and just, throwing up a like. If you want to see more videos, subscribe and click the bell for a tell whenever I do upload a video, a review, or whenever I go live streaming on twitch.tv/Skylent. Much love, friends. Hope you have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.